Hey guys, this is Jeff Potts of the Fae and Mantic Ritual, and you are experiencing Poppitt's Corner.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Poppitt's Corner. Thoroughly excited, as always, to be doing these. And, of course, I got my main man here, Mr. Shannon Frye. Shannon, how you doing, man? What's going
Yeah,
on in your world?
I'm doing good, man. It's been watching TV all day, relaxing. It's been a nice day. First day of football, loving it.
Eating a bag of chips and just
Bag of
hanging out,
chips.
huh?
Oh yeah, man. Sour
Drinking
cream and onion.
drinking that Coke and snorting it at the
Well, no,
same
I
time.
took a break from the Coke today. I'm doing the coffee thing.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Just
Yeah, man. I'm excited to be doing this once again. It seems like a couple of the episodes we've done before this week have really gained some notoriety and traction, and we're eternally grateful for that. So thanks everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. So hopefully you guys are doing well out there as well. But what I thought we would do today is it's going to hit a little closer to home for me, and I want to thank you in advance for the opportunity and to help me promote it. And
yeah.
why not? Why not? Why not just show what we're going to show here? And of course, we're going to be talking about the newest live album from Madrost, the first of its kind for us. It's Lost Lives Volume 1, as you can see there with the mascot with the shovel and the airplane flying in and crashing into the venue itself. But a lot of things to dissect in the album cover, which hopefully I can talk your guys' ear off about it. But would you like to start, my friend?
Well, let's start at the beginning. First, what made you decide to release Lost Lives Volume 1 as a live album? What
Oh,
spurred the idea?
so do you remember how last year and some of this year, I would say majority of this year, I've been undergoing some pretty severe kind of health issues that I will get into more and more as time goes on. As soon as I'm comfortable enough with coming out and educating the masses on it. Obviously, behind the scenes what's going on with me, but so obviously with that I had a lot of kind of free time, and I couldn't play guitar and I couldn't be creative, and I was kind of in a weird kind of funk. And I kind of told myself and asked myself, how am I going to still have more output than just these four records? And then, granted, I get it, four records is kind of a lot. Uh, but I really think that the more things that you release, the better. And I had been kind of hanging out with Tony Cole and whatnot. And we first sparked the idea when I wanted to put out a demo compilation, right? So I had this idea to do the demo compilation, which I think you have a copy of that with, from Crips to Chaos. And then obviously that had a live bonus disc, which is a different story in itself. So I guess technically that is the first quote unquote live, even though it's kind of not. But this is the first official like standalone live album. So anyway, back to the story. I was kind of hanging out with Tony Cole and we were going over the ideas for the demo compilation, and he's like, what you're doing is very inspirational. What you're doing is you're putting out as many seeds out in the world as possible. That's the ultimate goal. It's just give more people of reason to support you. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So when he kind of told me that, it kind of inspired me to go back, you know, into the archives and just see what I had. And well, it turns out I have a lot, like more than I thought I had. And a lot of the material was live material from 2007, 8, 9 era. So this is like demo stages. This is well before the Maleficent record, and it's just a really strange and unique kind of history lesson for the band's career that I didn't think people knew. It was kind of like I almost felt I owed it to all the past members that have kind of came and went into the band's history, and especially me. I felt I owed it to myself to document my humble beginnings, because every band has them. You
Mhm.
know,
Right.
I just kind of have the balls enough just to release it, and who gives a shit? It's there if you want to see where we started. This is where we're at now, kind of thing. So that's kind of how the whole idea came about, and I found 5 or 6, or I think I have 5 or 6, maybe 7 at this point, live albums from a place called Hoagie Barmichael's. So this was a place in Newport Beach, around, I think, up until like the mid tens. So 2015 era is when the venue shut down for good.
Okay.
So what they would do is you would play your show, and they would offer recordings of your performance. It was like $10, dude. Nothing. So my dad had the foresight to get as many of them as possible. Every time we would play a show, he'd give them 10 or $15 or whatever it was, and we would have the CD, documented. And so he gave me, I'm totally blessed because of him, but he gave me that opportunity to preserve and document our history. So I owe it a lot to my dad in that respect. And when I was kind of putting these together, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick 2. I'm going to pick 2 live albums that I think are worthy enough to be released. Now, this particular one that we're talking about is from a lineup that was only around for maybe 2 months, 3 months. It wasn't a long time. So the fact that it's there and we have it is the most rare thing I could possibly give to this world.
Yeah.
And we were on fire, dude. Listening to this stuff, I was like really blown away by the performance.
Right.
Warts and all. There are a lot of flubs. There are lyrics that are kind of not even there. Just kind of flubbing through the lyrics because some of the songs are so new, and this might have been one of the first time playing some of them.
Mhm.
So some of the lyrics are a little bit different from what made it eventually onto the Maleficent record. So I just thought that was really cool just to have. And also, my guitar's out of tune. I wasn't the best front man at that time, so it's just cool to hear where I started from and eventually wound up. So that's essentially the whole aspect of the Lost Lives series. So there will be a second volume and hopefully a third and fourth if I can, muster up the courage to want to release them. But for now, I have 2 in the can. This is the first one that's going to be released. That's obviously getting released, this year and whatnot. So I'm thoroughly excited. And then volume 2 will be out sometime next year. And fun fact, my dad is the one that named the live album series, because I was really kind of struggling on what to call it. And he suggested, well, they're Lost Live albums. Why don't you just call it Lost Lives? It's like, okay, that's like kind of like a play on words with the word live, but it's also, they were kind of lost in time and lives, and so you can misinterpret it or interpret it in any way that you choose to see fit. But I just thought it was a really cool title, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I hope people dig it. It was a lot of fun to kind of go back into the archives and get it all remastered from Rob Caldwell and work with Tony on a couple of these projects. So yeah, really had a lot of fun with them, man. Hopefully that answers your question in a roundabout way.
So Lost Lives Volume 1 has 6 songs on it. What made it, not to say that it's short, but usually there's a few more songs, usually 10 on a live album, sometimes more. What made this so, was it just the time restraints that you had at the time?
So yes, because you're mentioning, I mean, this is recorded actually in 2009. So this was during our stages where we could literally only play half hour.
Okay.
So it's it's a full live show. It's literally not, it's not taken from 4 different live shows put into one. It's like a legit warts and all soundboard live recording. That's what makes it so unique and different than other live albums, is that it's literally one time, no holds bars, just straight off the soundboard recording. I think if we had more songs, obviously I would put them on, but this is literally what I had.
Right.
And I think it's all quality over quantity at this point, because even with all the flubs and warts and all and stuff, I really enjoy it. I think it sounds really cool compared to like other live albums that I've heard. And so I don't know, I just thought it would be a cool thing for the fans, man. Give back to the fans on, you know, letting them have a piece of an era of the band's career that was literally, I thought, lost in time.
Right. Understandable. So let's talk about this cover real fast. Who did the cover, and what made you choose the airplane coming at the building and the zombie with the shovel? What made that happen?
All right. So, in saying this, so obviously I had mentioned before, but I was working with Tony Cole, who is like the 5th member of the band at this point. He's like done most of our covers. I think he's minus like 1, but regardless, he's you know, he's my guy. You know what I mean? Everybody has their team, and he's part of our team here. I love his artwork. I love working with him. He's always a pleasure. He's really easy. He's, you know, it's just quality all around. So the zombie that you're seeing in the cover is actually our mascot. And we've always had a mascot. We've just neglected to kind of use him on a couple of our album covers. He's actually presented on the Maleficent cover. That is our mascot. So anybody saying that, you know, we're kind of shoehorning in a mascot is kind of a little bit uneducated at this point. So we've always had one. He always comes up on stage. It's obviously my dad in the costume and whatnot. He always has a shovel. It's just really fun. If you're not into it, I totally get it. But to me, we needed to start having an image for the band. So going forward, this guy is going to be the image of the band. I would like to start kind of utilizing that. It's super important to any band. Now, the airplane that you're talking about. So remember how I said this was recorded at a place called Hoagie Barmichael's?
Yeah.
So if you look at the diamond shape behind the mascot with the shovel,
Yeah.
it's actually the logo that used to be Hoagie Barmichael's. So that's the actual logo. And it was just super fun. Again, why not just have some fun with it? We wanted to use the logo and whatnot. And the only thing I told Tony was, let's make it look like the actual stage. And I sent him videos of us performing there and pictures, so he got to kind of see what it looked like. Now, the airplane, I was telling him that this actually happened at this venue. It's right next to an airport called John Wayne Airport. One of the planes, actually, somebody crashed into the venue. So that plane, you know, is actually like kind of like a throwback to some history in SoCal. So I just wanted to just throw it in there. Why not?
That's really cool.
And the zombies looking down or whatever are actually like the same zombies that are in the From Crypts to Chaos. We use the same zombies. So if you actually see, you'll see a lot of comparisons to the color schemes and the, you know, how they're portrayed and whatnot. I just thought it was really fun. And the parental advisory sticker is just super fun.
Do the zombies behind, for example, the guy hanging onto the wing of the plane, and then the 3 guys that are below the plane, do they represent anything more than just what's on the cover? Are those members of the band? Are those?
No. I guess I'd be the guy flying on the fucking airplane.
Yeah, right.
but no, not at all. It was just a super fun idea. Just, again, I try not to take ourselves too seriously. I wanted to have some fun this time around. So if you
Yeah.
like it, great. If not, it's all good. We have other stuff that you might enjoy, but for the completists and the people that want to support us even further, this is just another excuse to support us.
Right. Well, to me, this has one of the greatest Madrost songs that were ever written on it. And to hear it live in its early stages is amazing. And that song is Zombie Grinder, the fifth track. Amazing. Still my favorite Madrost song.
I'm honored, man. Thank you so much for the kind words. It's again, I never lose the fan in me. Obviously, Avenger of Blood has been a huge inspiration during those specific times, especially. So it could be why. It could be why you like it so much. But it's all good. You know,
Right.
because I was listening to that kind of stuff then. That's when the whole thrash movement was like massive, dude.
Right.
2009, Death Brigade just got released a year
Year
earlier.
earlier.
So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it was huge for me. But thank you, man. I think the version on here is really cool. I had to edit it a little bit and take out some of the flubs and just stupid shit that I said in the actual show, so it would kind of flow a little bit more because there's
Right.
some stupid stuff that was said then. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna edit it so it sounds like a legit just live show all the way through. So cut out the flub. Let's talk more rock, dude.
Right.
But my favorite version actually is on this album of Under the Hammer. I really loved the version of Under the Hammer, which was so cool to hear. Like, whoa, we ended the show with that song. Like, what the fuck were we thinking? But it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, it actually sounds really cool like that.
Yeah. It fits.
So
Go out with a bang. End the album with a bang. End the live show with a bang. You ended it with a bang.
well, thank you, man. I genuinely appreciate it. But it's interesting to hear that because we didn't do that a lot. Like we would always end the show with the song Zombie Grinder on it. So it's just cool to see that we did something different. It was captured and we actually have the recording and it sounds this good.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just another excuse, man. It was very it was very apparent when doing these, even the demo compilation was this year has really been a year of growth for me and getting back in touch with some people of my past that I would have never I would have never kind of gotten the opportunity to kind of reach out and talk to again. So that was
Right.
another aspect too. This is like the year of growth for me.
Mm.
I've really kind of have mended bridges and this is no excuse. Me and Jake Durbin, the guitar player that played on it, we connected and shared some great stories and just it was just really cool to do that. I wish he was on here with us, but the just planets did not align this time, which is all good. But at least we're documented together. At least we got to share this moment and there weren't any pictures on this one. We didn't get any photo shoots because it was so short-lived, but fuck it. We have live material. I have a live artist. Tony Cole is to me arguably the best. So I'm surrounded by the best. I'm going to utilize it and gosh darn it, I'm going to fucking just keep going with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, very cool.
And I think vocally speaking, I really was impressed with that aspect too. I was really impressed by how it was mixed. Because there's nothing I could do about it if the vocals were way too loud or way too quiet, and it just seems like everything fit the way it was supposed to. Lightning in a bottle is what I call it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very audible. Everything is very fits well within the mix. Yeah, I will agree.
And I have I love the fact that we put in the parental advisory sticker and just had some fun with
Yeah, throwback to the 80s
and 90s, dude.
And mainly the 80s, though, because that's when that parental advisory sticker started. So, yeah, but I think it's funny too.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we have the mascot now. I'm glad that we've kind of are going to utilize our image more and more and have something cool to give to the fans.
Right.
Why not? I've understood, I've been reading some, some, I guess, what's the word I'm trying uh, to say here? Help me out here, man. Some
Uh,
not
comments?
so not so nice, um,
Comments. Yes.
which is all good. I was prepared for it. I was prepared for people to say that we ripped off Iron Maiden and whatnot, which again, Iron Maiden doesn't get the stronghold on the zombie. That's not how it works. If
No.
if that if that's the case, then I guess Night of the Living Dead doesn't exist. And
Either does Megadeth
yeah,
because Vic Rattlehead's on every album.
yeah, you
And
know,
so there's no reason that Madrost can't
yeah,
use your own zombie creature.
yeah. We call him Carl. His name's Carl.
Carl the Crypt Keeper, right?
That's right. That's right. And it has nothing to do with the famous one. This is our version of it.
Right.
So I'm sure we'll have to change his name later, but for now, I call him Carl, and that's what it stays.
There it
That's how it
is.
stays. So, but yeah, I hope people like it, man. Obviously, you can go pick it up at madrost.bandcamp.com. We released this ourselves. It was just easier to do it that way this time around. I didn't really want to have to kind of bug the label to do it. I was just going to be like, you know what? This is just a fun thing. I'm looking forward to doing more and more and more of them. But yeah, so there's some history lessons in the cover. There's some, just some funness to it. Again, so go ahead and pick
Oh,
it up if you're interested in supporting us further than just our first, kind of 4 albums, man.
mm-hmm. Well,
But
I'll tell you what I think. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I like this. I really do. I think it's a great, great live release. I think the production's amazing. Of course, the inclusion of Zombie Grinder, you can't go wrong. That just ups the ante a little more. Yeah, I really like it. I think everybody else would enjoy it too, and I would hope they pick it up as well.
well, thank you, man. It's a huge compliment coming from you yourself. So
I appreciate it.
just again, I never lose the fandom, and I get, I can speak for you too. You're the same as me, so I want to thank you for giving me a couple minutes of and the opportunity to promote it. That's huge too. I'm
Right.
glad we have the show that we could just utilize all that shit.
Totally. Hell yeah.
So yeah, there's not a lot more for me to say when in regards to this release, just because I mean it wasn't like there wasn't like much thought put into it other than getting all the pieces put in place and working with disc makers to press it and all that fun stuff.
Getting it mastered by Rob Colwell. That's another huge thing. I think he's just a great mastering engineer.
I think he's one of the best, and I think we found our new guy,
Mhm.
someone that's part of the team here, right?
Yeah.
So again, another excuse to work with our full team, like we're going to
Right.
be doing on something very special. Which, fuck it, should I just announce it?
Might as
I think
well.
I should. I might as well. So next year, we're really, really working hard on getting new music out there for everybody. So I guess can we mention the SPLIT?
Sure.
All right, go for it.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is do something really special for the fans. Again, it's another opportunity for you to support the both of us, and in saying that too, it's an opportunity for your fans to discover us, our fans to discover you if they haven't already. But we're going to be doing a split together. Again, we haven't really ironed out all the pieces, but essentially we have the majority of the material.
Right.
So at this point, it's just a matter of getting it done, okay, who gets what? We've already established that.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of formats do we want them on and all that fun stuff. So it's going to be
Right.
fun. I'm looking forward to doing it. It's going to be
It's gonna be a
interesting.
blast.
Heck yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to have one song that's not going to make our next full length, which we're working on as we speak. So it's
Uh-huh.
another thing that, again, get ready, folks, because you might get sick of us next year. We have quite a few releases coming down the pipe here, but I also know Avenger of Blood has some things cooking as
Oh
well.
yeah. Yeah, some really strong songs in the works. Very, very different. Different for Avenger. Still the same in a lot of ways. More of a growth, I would say. But still just as aggressive and angry as we've always been. So I'm excited for it. We start recording next month, so just really wanting to put the pedal to the metal.
No pun intended there, buddy.
Right.
And obviously, I've shown you a couple of the tunes that are going to be making album 5, and I'm really proud of those too.
Killer.
So it's going to be killer for next year. But thank you so much, Shannon, for giving me the opportunity, man. Go pick up Lost Lives Volume 1 and any of our other releases at madrost.bandcamp.com. And I know for Avenger of Blood, obviously, was it Avenger of Blood.bandcamp.com?
Right.
Avenger of Blood Thrash, whichever comes first. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
Avenger of
making up
Blood up
shit.
bandcamp.com and AOB Thrash Facebook.
So, but yeah, looking forward to doing many more releases, obviously, and many more of these episodes. But for another episode of Poppitt's Corner, guys, we're out of here. Cheers.